Discipline. A word that sounds tough, even harsh to some. But what if I told you discipline is not punishment? It's not restriction. It's not suffering. True freedom is built through consistent self-discipline, not by giving in to every desire. Most people think freedom means doing what they want, whenever they want, with no restrictions. That sounds nice, but in reality, it often leads to chaos, regret, and wasted time. If you always follow your impulses, you let your emotions control your life. You start something and stop midway. You make promises you don't keep. You wake up with big plans but fall back into old habits. That's not freedom, that's a trap disguised as comfort. When you rely on how you feel in the moment, you give up control of your life. You become a servant to your moods, your distractions, and your excuses. If you're always waiting to feel motivated, you'll rarely act. Motivation comes and goes. It's unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It's a system. It's the act of doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. This is where true freedom begins. Not in escaping responsibilities, but in embracing the power to control your own behavior. With self-discipline, you decide your direction. You no longer let outside influences or internal doubts dictate your actions. You build routines that support your goals. You become someone who keeps moving forward consistently, steadily even on the days you don't feel like it. People who live without discipline often find themselves stuck in cycles of guilt, disappointment, and anxiety. They know what they should be doing, but they can't bring themselves to do it. That mental conflict creates stress. But disciplined people don't suffer in that same way. They've already decided. They act not based on feeling, but on purpose. And that consistency creates progress, confidence, and peace of mind. Discipline means you stop negotiating with yourself. You don't give in to the easy path just because it's convenient. You don't waste hours on distractions and then complain about not having time. You take ownership, you take control, and over time, that control gives you more freedom than you ever thought possible. You have more time because you're not procrastinating. You have more energy because you've built habits that support your well-being. You have more confidence because you've proved to yourself, again and again, that you can do hard things. It's not always dramatic or visible. Sometimes discipline looks like saying no to one more video, one more snack, one more excuse. It's small choices made consistently that lead to massive change over time. It's learning to delay gratification so you can build something better than temporary pleasure, life of meaning, achievement, and integrity. Self-discipline isn't about punishing yourself or living a joyless life. It's about choosing your joy more wisely. It's about being free from the control of impulses that want to keep you average. It's about building structure so your dreams have room to grow. It's about being your own leader, your own guide, your own support system. When you live with discipline, you stop being pulled in every direction. You get clarity. You become calm under pressure. You stay focused on what truly matters. You develop mental strength that most people never reach, simply because they choose comfort over consistency. But the truth is, comfort without direction becomes a prison. You get stuck. You feel lost. You waste your potential. Discipline breaks that cycle. Discipline opens the door to freedom, real, lasting freedom, the kind that comes from knowing who you are, where you're going, and what you're willing to do to get there. Discipline empowers you to take control of your actions, build habits, and shape the life you truly want. Everything you dream of achieving, whether it's learning a new skill, changing your lifestyle, or becoming a better version of yourself, requires more than just a wish. It requires action. But not just one-time effort or bursts of motivation. It requires steady, repeated action. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline turns your intention into execution. It creates a system where action becomes a habit, not a struggle. Without discipline, your goals remain just ideas. You say you want to wake up early, but the bed feels too comfortable. You plan to exercise, but laziness wins. You promise to practice English, but social media distracts you again. This pattern continues until your dreams start to feel impossible. Not because you lack talent or intelligence, but because you lack consistency. Discipline closes the gap between knowing and doing. It helps you show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. And that consistency creates momentum. When you start acting with discipline, something powerful happens. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop making excuses. You start building habits that support your growth. One small action repeated daily becomes a powerful routine. That routine begins to shape your character, your mindset, and eventually your entire identity. You go from someone who hopes to change into someone who does what it takes to change. Discipline teaches you to value your time. It makes you realize that every minute counts. Instead of wasting hours on distractions, you begin to focus on things that matter. You start organizing your day around your goals. You plan your actions, prioritize your energy, and eliminate the things that drain your focus. Your life becomes more intentional, more productive, and more meaningful. You gain clarity on what you want and how to get there. You become the architect of your future. As your discipline grows, so does your confidence. You trust yourself more because you've proven, again and again, that you follow through. You start to feel in control, not just of your schedule, but of your emotions, your habits, and your direction. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. The more you take control of your actions, the more you see results. And those results reinforce your belief that you are capable of more. Even challenges become opportunities for growth. Discipline doesn't eliminate struggle, but it gives you the strength to keep going. You stop quitting when things get hard. You stop looking for shortcuts. You start showing up every day with purpose. That's when real transformation begins. Not in moments of excitement, but in quiet, repeated effort. Every time you act with discipline, you send a message to yourself. I am in charge. I decide what kind of person I become. That internal shift is where freedom lives. Not freedom from effort, but freedom from regret. Freedom from helplessness. Freedom from being stuck. When you take control of your actions, you take control of your outcomes. Discipline doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. You don't have to get everything right. You just have to keep going. Step by step, day by day. Some days will be easy. Others will challenge your willpower. But each time you choose discipline, you become stronger, more focused, more capable. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on yourself. You learn to trust the process, not just the results. And over time, those disciplined actions shape the life you once only imagined. A life built on purpose, direction, and inner strength. A life you can be proud of because you didn't wait for it to happen. You created it through action. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom, it is the foundation of it. The moment you decide to take control of your habits, your time, and your thoughts, you begin to take control of your life. No more waiting for motivation. No more excuses. No more drifting without direction. The life you dream of is not found in shortcuts or comfort zones. It's built through consistent, deliberate action. Every choice you make either brings you closer to your goals or pushes you further away. So choose discipline. Choose power. Choose to become the person who doesn't just dream, but decides. Because when you master discipline, you don't just change your routine, you change your destiny.